The flicker of candlelight cast long shadows on the marble floors, the palace's luxurious interior reflected in the fine glassware and made polished silver. Dinner that evening was held in the long, open-air hall, lanterns swinging gently from golden hooks as dusk painted the skies in violet and rose. The desert cooled quickly once the sun slipped away, but the warmth of the fire pits and spiced food filled the air. I took my place at the table, as always, 2 seats down from the king. Zephyra was already there, seated directly across from me. Her hair was still damp from her bath, pulled back with jeweled pins. Her skin glowed with warmth, eyes flickering toward mine just briefly before returning to the silver goblet in her hands. She looked composed, serene even, but I had learned to read beneath her masks, and she was not calm. Not tonight. Morgath took his seat beside me. The man reeked of dried herbs and ash. His eyes, pale and cruel, gave little away, but I could feel his presence like a shadow creeping in from the corners. He greeted me with a nod, which I returned only stiffly. I never trusted men who enjoyed silence too much. And Morgath wore it like armor. Conversation began around us. Idle discussion of trade routes, foreign gifts arriving at court, and the continuing rumors of unrest in a distant province. But I kept watching Zephyra. Her fingers curled around her goblet, too tight, her shoulders stiff. She didn't laugh. She didn't speak. She only watched Morgath. Every now and then her eyes would flick to him and her jaw would tense, her lips pressing into a tight, unreadable line. I waited. Later, when the food had been cleared and the fires burned lower, I found her alone in the moonlit corridor just beyond the dining hall. The silk of her sleeves whispered against the stone as she moved, as if even the palace itself wished to make no sound. "You were quiet tonight," I said softly, stepping to her side. She didn't turn immediately, but after a moment, she spoke. "He frightens me." I didn't need to ask who. Her gaze drifted downward. For a moment, I thought she might brush me off, say nothing, lie. But then she exhaled, long and heavy. "Morgath," I said. "What is it about him?" Her voice was quiet. "He is loyal to my father, to the crown. There is no doubt in that." "But," I prompted. Zephyra's eyes finally met mine, and in them I saw the shadows she worked so hard to hide, her eyes clouding with something that resembled both memory and dread. "He would do anything to protect the royal family, Severus. Anything. Because I've seen what he does." She hesitated, then continued. "He once captured a man who threatened the king. Instead of executing him, Morgath kept him alive for days, carving him open, healing him, starting again, all to learn whether he acted alone. I've heard the screams echo through the lower halls. He tortures people, not for pleasure, not directly, always under the guise of protecting the royal family, extracting confessions, preemptive interrogations. But it's horrendous." She raised her gaze, and in it I saw pain real and raw, barely hidden beneath her practiced calm. I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the night air. I swallowed hard, trying to keep the fury from my face. Flashes of war, of the Carciatus curse came back to me. "He tortured the man?" I asked, my voice low. She nodded. "And prevented his death over and over until the last drop of truth was squeezed from him." Her voice shook now. "I was young. I didn't see it. But I heard it. And your father allowed this?" "He didn't order it," she said quickly. "But he didn't stop it either." She swallowed. "Morgath is not evil, but he is terrifying. He believes pain is necessary for order. That fear is a kind of loyalty." I stepped closer. "Do you believe that?" "No," she whispered. "But sometimes I wonder if he's right." Silence stretched between us, broken only by the wind brushing through the corridors. "I don't trust him," I admitted. "There's something hollow behind his eyes." Zephyra looked away. "He would protect me with his life. But if he ever thought I were a threat to the crown—" Her voice trailed off. "You're not." "I know that," she said, her tone sharper. "You know that. But Morgath only serves power, not people." I watched her a long moment, my hands curling at my sides. I hated the fear in her voice, hated that even in a palace built for her she felt unsafe. "I will not let him harm you," I said. She turned to me again, and this time her gaze lingered. "You're not afraid of him?" "I've known worse monsters." A faint smile ghosted her lips. "Then perhaps I'm glad you're here, Severus. And why does your father allow him to speak to you so inappropriate, as though he has some claim to you?" Zephira's eyes flickered, and for the first time that evening I saw shame flash behind them. "Because once, my father thought he would make a good suitor for me."